might come back.
Why?
Quite a lot of people waiting around.
I know, but they're the ones that we've got to screw with.
That's true, I guess.
This is why we're coming. We're not going alone, are we?
We could.
No, there's no. What is the point of going in alone? Because these are the people we've got to screw with.
Good point.
Good point. Yeah. Walsallmatt makes a point again. Ed, wouldn't you love it if they did Most Haunted here, and Derek Acorah starts picking up a spirit like he did at the London Dungeons? I said, well, it's quite interesting because this place used to be a carpet factory. So this has actually always been one of my personal favourites. I can't actually say why. It's probably one of the most textured ones because back in the day, there was a whole video intro. It was like pseudo Ghostbusters, and to a kid that was mind blowing. That was the only thing I ever always wished is that in the trailer that they had, which I might just put on here just to show you. I always wanted the costumes. I always wanted the big guns, and they had a display of one of the costumes. And I think one of these days, if I can find enough photos, I might actually just recreate it. Yeah, just for laugh, because I'll take that to a Comic Con. Surely someone is going to say, "Is that from The Haunting from Drayton Manor?" And I will go, "Yes, it is." And says, "Oh, that's awesome!" So So I mean, they've updated it a bit. They've put new LEDs in things and things like that. But it's a relatively simple ride. But it should be a little more funny once you've got us in there. Greetings, people of YouTube. 'Tis I, Walsallmatt. And I must say, I'm a bit disappointed. Okay, basically, if anybody hasn't already watched it, my previous video was a vlog where I go to Drayton Manor for the first time in about 10 years plus with Ed for his birthday. Awesome, brilliant. Yeah, it really was. It was fantastic. If you haven't seen that video already, go back and watch it and then come back because you'll sort of know what I'm talking about. But if you don't want to watch it and you already know what I'm talking about, then stick around. So here we are. But anyways, any road up, Drayton Manor was absolutely phenomenal. The day, the experience, the whole thing, brilliant. First time in 10 years, a wash of so many wonderful memories come from that place. And one of the rides that I really wanted to go on was The Haunting. Now, I'm a sucker for scare rides. I love them, absolutely adore them. And without being too nasty about it, I was really disappointed this time round. I mean, I was heartbrokenly disappointed. So anyone who doesn't know what The Haunting is actually one of these experience rides where you go in, you follow a certain story and it leads you to the actual ride itself. There's no point in being sort of stopping people, saving from spoilers, simply because the ride's been around that long and it's that old that everybody knows about it. So you go through this haunted house which is made out of fiberglass. Yeah, kid stuff, but you can forgive it. And you basically you used to follow a team of sort of pseudo Ghostbusters. They had these, when they couldn't actually use Ghostbusters, they did their own sort of thing. It was very 90s, very, very kitsch, I think is the word you're looking for. But such wonderful ambience. I can tell you what, here is a trailer for the original Haunting. See attached.
ETA 15 seconds.
Keep it tight, keep it together.
Stand by.
Okay, people, I want a good, clean dispersal.
Move it. Watch your backs. Go. Move it.
Okay, all readings are normal. Continue inside.
You getting this control?
Confirmed.
No visual activity.
Use your motion trackers.
Something in here.
Shouldn't we call them back?
Negative.
You heard the man, people. Let's go. Come to daddy.
Something isn't right. I don't like this.
It's right on top of us.
I'm getting no response.
Do you read me, Dixon? Please respond.
The Haunting, Drayton Manor Park.
So, as you can imagine, this was... well, it's got to be well over 20 years ago, at least. Because it was going in the 90s, and apparently that pseudo Ghostbusters feel was still in use last year. This year, however, it was something very, very blood-shakingly, awfully different. So in the new Haunting, as I said in my previous vlog, they'd done the outside up, they cleaned it up, and they'd add lights to things, and the speakers were working, and there was something trying to get out of this grating in the floor, you know. They dressed up the outside all right. And you go in and they've changed all the graphics on the screens, but you get the impression that this might still be what it used to be. What we got was someone called Dr. Ghostman, who was leading this paranormal team through this house, and if you see anything paranormal, then you're supposed to woo, like those. And it was so shockingly bad. It was so badly done. I cannot emphasise it enough. It looked so... I mean, there's a difference between cheap and effective and just cheap and nasty, and this looked cheap and nasty. So basically, it looked as if someone had actually gone into the manager's office at Drayton Manor and filmed there for about 10 minutes, did 10 minutes worth of voiceover for the rest of the ride, and that was it. There was no sense of... there was no real sense of something really dark and menacing going on, because the original, as corny as it was, really did have that. It had a lovely sense of ambience about it. It had a lovely sense of something really, really not good is going on, and you did actually come out of that. Originally, you did actually come out of that ride fairly shaken up. And why this has disappointed me a little, or should I say a lot, I'm very connected to my nostalgia. I just am. Me and my nostalgia are just like that. And when I see something that I really, it's part of my heart and soul, and I loved it, and every time I go back there, like I said, this is the first time in 10 years I've gone to Drayton Manor, and this has just broken my heart completely. And it sort of does cattle you a little bit. It really does make you sort of feel that it's not nowhere near as good as it could have been. So yeah, so you go through the house, and the walkway is the same as you get to the main. I say not the main room. There's this living room area, and originally it was all smoke and mirrors, and there was an animatronic head that used to cattle at you, and it used to take you through the story, and like I say, this Ghostbuster alien feel, and the ceiling would disappear, and you see the bodies of the original investigation team. That has all gone, but there's no setup to what does happen. What they've done is they've made the room, the things like the mirrors moving like this, and there's chairs, and there's a tape recorder, and everything moves of its own accord, and the floor still goes. You still got that sort of weird hydraulic lift type of thing that, very disorientating. They've still got that, but there's no setup to it. There was no this might happen, or ooh, and there was no real sense of dread. And in a scare ride, I think there's a certain sense of dread is actually quite important. The one thing that they did actually capitalise on was the use of back projection, because where the original portrait of the vicar of Drayton Manor used to be this animatronic head that talked and just basically taunted you. That's been changed to another one where they back project CGI, which I thought was actually quite good. It's something that's cropping up a lot more. You can go to varying companies and you buy this see-through film, and you back project these ghostly images, and they can be very, very... I'm actually quite impressed by them, but I wasn't impressed by the way that they'd done it, because by the time you realise what was going on, it was kind of all over. It was far too quick. It was far too... Get them in, bang, 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 get them out. Whereas originally, going through the haunting, what could take you about 10 minutes, used to take about half an hour. I used to remember the wait in the queue for haunting was interminable, simply because it took the time and you really sort of, screwing with your audience's head. And it did none of that. It just got us in and said, oh, there's stuff moving and nothing makes sense. And then all of a sudden you're thrust straight into the main part of the ride, which hasn't changed at all. Not one bit. And for those of you who don't remember, it's the one where you're on this sort of seesaw type thing and then the whole room sort of rotates around you. Very disorientating. I still think it's quite clever. It's probably the best bit of the entire ride, but even then it was just like everyone sat down, the bars come down and it does its thing, and there was no sense of, a couple of years ago they'd added stuff whereby something would jolt you in the back or sort of grab your legs, and that's all gone. That's why? I thought that was actually quite a nice touch, because people would just yelp and scream and all this business. And to see normal people yelp and scream at absolutely nothing, that's funny of its own accord. But it's gone from being a very effective, very sort of in your head type of ride, to being this sort of, people walking out, myself walking out and thinking, well, that was very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. So yeah, I could be being a bit of a misery. I don't dispute that at all. Maybe I'm getting older. Maybe I'm too old for the haunting. I hope not. I'm not too old for rides. I like rides. I like ride seeking. I really do. But I like scare rides. I love ghost trains and I love haunted house rides and experiences and stuff like that. I absolutely adore them. And to think that this one has fallen so low, it really just kind of hurt me. Actually, it's awful. And another complaint that I've actually got is that the staff used to be part of the story. They actually used to get someone who could act a bit, and they would be the guy through the house, and they'd really sort of reel you in. Whereas this one, it was the guy that was, served us about 3-4 rides up the way, and then at a certain time he's supposed to come out with the haunted and do that for about an hour or so, and then he took us through, and he really did not want to be there. He just didn't want to know. The lines that he fed everyone, says, right, if everyone follows us through here, and he sounded so bored. Now I can understand that if people do this job day in, day out, through the peak period, through into the off-peak period, all you want to do is shut the place, go home. I can understand that. I genuinely, I would probably feel it myself. So if anybody's watching this video and they say, well, I do this job and you have no idea what it's like, you're right, I really do not have a clue how this job's done, and I can understand entirely that this must be such a slog. But, however, people have paid very good money to come in, and you might as well give a bit of bang for the buck. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. I mean, you go to places like the London Dungeons or Warwick Castle or anywhere like that, everyone is there, and everyone who's sort of the actors, if you like, they are doing the same job in, out, every single day, and it does not make a blind bit of difference. They still have that sense of here and now is the most important point, it's the most important part of the entire thing, and they really do give it their absolute all. Whereas the staff at Drayton Manor, they just don't care. They do not care. So you might think that I'm being a bit of a misery. Yes, I am. What would I do different? Okay, here we go. First off, I would bring back that pseudo Ghostbuster alien feel. That worked. It's a formula that has worked right up until this point, and I think taking it away was a big mistake. Huge mistake. The second thing I would do is I would go in, gut the place, and I would start top to bottom. Absolutely start top to bottom. The original Haunting had a very 90s feel. It had some 90s sensibilities. The video looked like it was from the 90s. It was filmed in a very 90s way. Nowadays, things are a little more Darren Brown in your head. One place I'd love to go is Dan Brown's Ghost Train at Thorpe Park. I really want to check that out. So yeah, you got to have this sort of it's sort of a paranormal activity sort of feel that anything could just sort of straight out at you. No warning at all. That would be good. That would really be good. Yes, it leads you into the old familiar ride, but something's got to happen. Put everyone in pitch darkness. Maybe sort of. And the rides these days, that once the bars go down, that you can take people 360 and nobody will budge. Seriously. So I'd make it scarier. I would bring it completely up to date, because what they've tried to do is they've tried to take an early 2000s version, it's like Most Haunted the ride at Drayton Manor, but like how many years too late? You know what? 8-10 years too late, possibly. And if you're going to film something like the original, put some real backing into it, put some real heart into it. And I could probably, I might actually do that. I might actually, organise a session whereby I will film something, send it to Drayton Manor, and say, you know what, we went to the haunting, it was shocking, this is what it could look like. And who knows? That was my eulogy for the haunting, which is ironic when you come to think about it. If you agree, your memories of the haunting of Drayton Manor itself, and let me know in the comments below. Really, let me know what you think about the haunting these days, because if a lot of us get together and say, well, we do actually think that the haunting is actually pretty shocking, we send it to Drayton Manor, they'll do something about it. I mean, they are currently updating Pirate Adventure, and they are updating Stormforce 10, because both were closed when I went, which again hurt me a little, because I'm really looking forward to going on these, my old mates. But if enough of us go and say, seriously, the haunting really needs dusting off and starting again, and it could be one of the most brilliantly scary things that you've ever seen in your life, that would be extraordinary. That really would. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Tumblr, I'm on Facebook, I'm here. Yeah, so this is my my eulogy to the haunting. Take care and rock on, guys.